Hello learners, Quality Engineering and Management, Week 12, video number 35. The topic is Cost of Quality, presented by myself, Dr. N. Venkateshwarlu, Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, IGNOU, New Delhi. Objectives. After listening to this video lecture, you should be able to define cost of quality, explain types of quality cost, understand quality cost analysis, and describe how industry uses cost of quality. These are the various objectives we are going to learn in this lecture. Introduction. The cost of quality is a management tool that focuses attention on areas requiring corrective actions. Driving this process is the statistical process control concept of continuous improvement. Quality assurance and operations managers use this data to improve labor efficiency, reduce rework, scrap and finished product destruction, reduce equipment downtime and other processing constraints, and ultimately to improve customer satisfaction. To implement a cost of quality system, a team is formed to collect and calculate the price of non-conformance and price of conformance. The quality assurance, quality control, operations and financial departments provide members for the team. Financial charts of accounts and objectives and subjective inputs are gathered from each department. Each opportunity for improvement is costed by comparing to costs if everything is happened right the first time. The total cost of quality is compared to a base such as sales or operating expenses and reported as a percentage. Comparison to a base adjusts for changing business volumes. It is not uncommon to find food companies with cost of quality of 5 to 10% of sales. Traditional SPC tools such as the Pareto diagram are helpful in the analysis of cost of quality because the major opportunities for improvement are identified. Specific examples will be provided. A concept of cost of quality. From the viewpoint of the customer who has to use the product or service delivered to him, it is fitness for the use. From the manufacturer point of view, it is conformance to those specifications that would result in customer satisfaction ultimately. In very general terms, quality may also be defined as affordable excellence. One has to bear in mind that both aspects, namely a freedom from deficiencies in the output as well as the optimal extent of features required by the customer, make for quality. This view brings life to the foremost requirements of total quality, namely having a customer orientation. Only when one knows who one's customers are can one be oriented towards them and learn about their needs and perceptions of what output reflects value to them. One of the most important thing that needs to be accomplished for attaining performance superiority is that simultaneously a number of imperatives have to be put into place in an organization. Concept of quality. The business indicators of total quality are delighted customers, motivated and empowered employees, higher earnings than competitors, and the minimum wastage of resources, which is already shown through the pyramid. The efficiency of any business is measured in terms of money spent. Therefore, like maintenance, production, design, sales, and other activities, the cost of quality must be known. This cost is no different than other costs. It can be programmed, budgeted, measured, and analyzed to attain the objective of better quality at lower costs. The quality costs are significant management tool. They provide a method of assessing overall effectiveness of the quality program, a means of establishing programs to meet overall needs, a method of determining problem areas and action priorities, a technique to determine the optimum amount of effort between the various quality activities. Information for pricing products or bidding on jobs. The cost of quality has been defined in a number of ways, some of which include the quality cost equals actual cost minus no failure cost. That is, the cost of quality is the difference between the actual cost of making and selling products and services and the cost if there were no failures during manufacturing or use and no possibility of failure. It is also defined as cost incurred because poor quality may or does exist. The cost of not meeting the customer's requirements minus the cost of doing things wrong. The cost incurred due to non-conformance of requirement quality. So these are the various definitions of cost of quality. Why it is important? The cost of quality. The effective quality management decreases production cost because sooner an error is found and corrected, the less costly it will be. Cost of quality comprises 5 types, which are external failure costs, internal failure cost, inspection costs, prevention costs, and appraisal costs. These are the 5 types of cost of quality. How to use it? Gather some basic information about the number of failures in the system. Apply some basic assumptions to the data in order to quantify the data. Chart the data based on the 4 elements listed above and study it. Allocate resources to combat the weak spots and do this study on a regular basis and evaluate your performance. New thoughts on an old concept, the cost of quality. Since the past decade, quality has become a focal point of activity, but unfortunately, the most reliable and accurate measure of that elusive attribute, namely the cost of quality, is still unclear in people's mind. You hear a lot of different definitions of what cost of quality is, what is included in it, and what is excluded from it. How do you go about calculating it, etc. A relatively new accounting concept can perhaps shed some light on these issues and give us a more concrete way of understanding and calculating the cost of quality. That concept is called activity-based costing. To get to the topic, however, we need to define quality first. Obviously, a product or a service that does not meet the agreed upon requirements of the customer cannot be said to have quality. Therefore, a fundamental definition of quality is conformance to requirement. Secondly, the system to achieve quality cannot rely on the old classic approach of appraisal. The difficulties with this are many. It is after the fact the damage has already been done. It is very costly to spend our resources discovering errors, correcting them, or discarding the items and redoing it all over again. There is obviously no guarantee that we will catch all the errors. So it is very difficult to catch all the errors every time, and it is also costly when identifying the errors and rectifying those errors. It will become a cost. So that is the cost of quality. Then what do? We do what we do in our personal life. We prevent. The key to achieving quality is prevention, not appraisal. The third question is how often we want to do our job. Conforming to the requirements, there is little, if any, disagreement on the answer. Every time we perform the job. This is the often misunderstood concept of zero defect. Finally, the only valid measure of quality is the price of non-conformance. In other words, how much do we spend on discovering, scrapping and correcting errors? So cost of quality is nothing but discovering the errors, correcting the errors and spending time on the correcting the errors. All this comes under the cost of quality. But how do we calculate that in the thousands of activities that comprise the work of the organization? Enter activity based costing, or ABC as it is more commonly known. ABC allocates our cost to specific activities rather than departments or functions. These costs include labor cost, material cost, overheads, etc. Therefore, it is the activity that drives the cost and not the other way around. If we take this premise one step further, we can divide our activities into three main categories: productive activities, making a product, designing a machine, writing a report, conducting financial analysis, selling a service, etc. These are our budgeted operating costs. Hello learners, new thoughts on an old concept, the cost of quality, in this preventive activities. The preventive activities are defined as the activities to eliminate the causes of a potential non-conformity or other undesirable potential situations. It makes sure that our process and procedures will lead to the desired results, conformation to requirements, every time without breakdown. These activities would include such things as preventive maintenance, quality education and training, process proving, procedure verification, customer orientation training, design reviews, etc. Next comes to the prevention category, designed to help us to do above correctly. Obviously, also in the strict sense of the word, this is not a productive activity, but if neglected, it could severely damage our actual productive one. Therefore, this activity is also desirable as well as to be budgeted. Of course, we eventually want to reduce expenditures in this category as well. The way to achieve that is through the reduction of undesirable things. The two methods to achieve this are: 1. Operate our processes with a defect-free attitude and improve the design of the process we are operating. The quality cost analysis. The quality costs are the costs associated with preventing, finding and correcting defective work. These costs are huge, running at 20% to 40% of sales. Many of these costs can be significantly reduced or completely avoided. One of the key functions of a quality engineer is the reduction of the total cost of quality associated with a product. Here are 6 useful definitions as applied to software products. Prevention cost. Cost of activities that are specifically designed to prevent poor quality. Examples of poor quality include coding errors, design errors, mistakes in the user manuals, as well as badly documented or maintainably complex codes. Some other examples of prevention costs are cost of new product development and review, quality planning, supplier capability surveys, process capability surveys, process capability evaluations, quality improvement projects, quality education and training. Note that most of the prevention costs don't fit within the testing group's budget. This money is spent by the programming, design and marketing staff. Appraisal cost. Cost of activities designed to find quality problems such as code inspections and any type of testing. Design reviews are part prevention and part appraisal. To the degree that you are looking for errors in the proposed design itself when you do the review, you are doing an appraisal. To the degree that you are looking for ways to strengthen the design, you are doing prevention. Failure cost. Cost that results from poor quality, such as cost of fixing bugs and cost of dealing with customer complaints. Then internal failure cost. The failure costs that arise before your company supplies its product to the customer, along with cost of finding and fixing bugs, are many internal failure costs borne by groups outside of product development. If a bug blocks someone in your company from doing her job, the cost of the wasted time, the missed milestones and the overtime to get back onto schedule are all internal failure costs, including costs like lost opportunity and cost of delays. In numerical estimates of total cost of quality can be controversial. Some examples of internal failure costs are scrap, rework, re-inspection, retesting, material reviews and downgrading. So these are the various internal failure costs. Then external failure cost. The failure costs that arise after your company supplies the product to the customer, such as customer service costs or the cost of patching a released product and distributing the patch. External failure costs are huge. It is much cheaper to fix problems before shipping the defective product to the customer. So, to reduce the external failure cost, one has to fully conduct the inspection or fully check each and every part before when we are going to ship that product to the customer. That is the only better method to reduce the external failure costs. Some examples of external failure costs are the cost of processing customer complaints, customer returns, warranty claims and product recalls. These are the various external failure cost. Then total cost of quality. So here the sum of cost is equal to prevention cost plus appraisal cost plus internal failure cost, then external failure cost. These are all, the sum of all these is nothing but a total cost of quality. Discussion: the quality cost. A quality cost system can be used as a means of showing the return on investment in improving quality, that is, quality is free according to Crosby. A quality cost system can also provide a means of measuring progress of the quality improvement process. Many organizations track only those quality costs that are easy to measure, Deming's visible figure. If they do any quality cost measurement at all, this can lead to a gross underestimate of the true cost of poor quality. Such underestimation can lead to a lack of emphasis on addressing quality problems and lack of justification for continuous improvement efforts. How industry uses cost of quality. A survey was conducted to discover if and how the food industry uses cost of quality. The result shows that percentage of companies that use cost of quality and how it is collected, analyzed and utilized. Specific examples are described. The survey answers the following questions: what process is currently used to identify projects for corrective action teams and capital expenditure? How effective are these processes? How is the success of project measured? Who is involved in identifying projects and measuring their success? How well is the root cause of a problem identified prior to implementation of corrective action? Do we find that the problem still exists after implementation of corrective action? How successful have ERP projects been in reducing cost and cycle time? So these are the various questions they will raise, and they can use this cost of quality to improve the quality and reduce the quality cost. Then ISO 9000 and cost of quality. The ISO 9000 is a quality management system standard that has gained rapid acceptance throughout the world. Cost of quality is a tool used by the management for continuous improvement, an important addition to the ISO 9000-2000 revision. The cost of quality should be incorporated into every quality management system, since use of this tool can and will identify means by which a company can gain and retain revenues. However, ISO 9000 at best is helpful in keeping cost of poor quality to a pre-decided level. So this is the relationship between, actually ISO 9000 certification is a quality management system, but cost of quality matters that it can reduce the costs incurred due to poor quality in the systems. So that is the relation between ISO 9000 and cost of quality. Taking corrective actions to the shop floor. As we know, identifying the cost of quality and devising the appropriate improvements are the first step to resolving quality problems. The next step is to communicate the need for process improvements to the shop floor in a manner that gains buy-in from the workforce. The last step successfully involves the shop floor in resolving the problem forever. Consumer complaints will be used as an example of the process. The cost of quality, or more appropriately the cost of quality may be as high as 25% of the sales for a manufactured product and as high as 40% for a service. Quality costs are an excellent area for cost reduction, which will lead to increased productivity. Generally speaking, a quality improves, overall cost is reduced. Only in very rare situations would quality improvement results in increased overall cost. Conclusions. Learners, I hope you understood the cost of quality, types of quality costs, quality cost analysis, and how industry uses cost of quality in the manufacturing processes. Thank you.